I ain't letting the Midas touch. Like a Mansa. Economy fall, I'm the answer. Can't cut me out of the track, I'm cancer. A visionary, heavy, fresh off the cemetery, cause my vision gon' last forever. It's necessary, heavy here when I'm dead and buried, cause my ism gon' last forever.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Polo coming with Polo Trading LLC, and back at it, week 19 with $100 ARK ETF challenge. This was an interesting week, so we can get right into it. So for those who don't know, for the first time viewing, my name is Polo. I've been trading just as a hobby in the past 20 years, but I really want to start focusing on long-term growth. One of the best ways to do that is with ETFs. They're not going out of style anytime soon. So I started researching, and long story short, there's a lot of ETFs out there. Quite a few, too many for me. So I started researching, okay, who can I really trust about and put my money in certain places? And that person came to be Kathy Wood, who's the CEO and CIO of ARK Investment. And long story short, 4 of her ETFs were the top in 2018. And they, let me tell you, they are doing extremely well in 2019 and even better even 2020, even in the midst of a pandemic. So when I started researching, I found out that she had 7 of them things. I did not know what would make her so special. Why was she being so successful? Disruptive innovation is the name of the game for her. It's changing the way the world works. She's going with it. She's making that investment. She's pulling the trigger on it. So because she had 7 of them, like, I don't know much about her. I was a little shaky. So I decided to put $100 in each of her ETFs. Henceforth, the $100 ARK ETF challenge. That's what we're doing. That's what I'm focusing on. So again, I always encourage people to join me on this journey. There are some people, thanks for those who made comments and shared the video. There are some people who told me they actually go do a $1,000 ARK ETF challenge. I'm excited about that. I hope to do that in 2021 as well. So with that, let's get right into next phase. As I always share, like, okay, how did things go this past week for each of the ETFs? So far, majority of them actually did pretty well. ARK F went up, ARK G went up, ARK K went up, ARK Q actually went down just a little bit. And this was a rough week for a lot of stocks with all the turmoil with the still the presidential election or whatever you want to call it was going on right now, along with the lack of stimulus not happening for America, as well as a new jobless quotes, or the number of people getting job or who are jobless, the number of COVID cases going up. A lot of stocks are struggling and suffering. Even people are starting to talk about the electric vehicle bubble might pop. A lot of those things are looking real shaky right now, but ARK is still going strong. ARK W increased as well. Even the Israel one, and even print went down a little bit. So for this week, the total, again, I started at 700. Okay, I started at $700, and now we at $983. 40% return on investment. So while the rest of the stock market is going down, ARK is going up. And basically this past week earned over $25. So it was some great days, some great days this past week, but there was some rough ones too. All right, so of course I always figure out, like, okay, which company, which ARK in ETF had the best week. That happened to be ARK G this week. And when I looked at that, I was like, okay, I see 1 week it went up. Let's see, is this ARK G? Yeah, ARK G. It went up a certain amount. Like, okay, that's pretty good. But then when I really extended out a little longer, right? I'm like, because I was like, I'm not really seeing like what made this week. Again, this week it went up, but then it went down, but then it went back up and went down. So I'm trying to figure out like what happened. But when I go out just a little further, I see that this was the beginning, right? This past week was the beginning of a jump. How did it go from December 4th? That was the Friday, December 4th, Friday. At close of business, it went from $89 to $95, $96 the next Monday morning. Okay, it went up. Like, I was surprised. I was really surprised, and I really wanted to figure out what was going on. So of course I always go, I look at the website, figure out, and we already know, like, if you haven't familiar with please check out my past videos. I break down each ETF, but then I look at ARK G, and I always look at the top 10 holdings. Are there any new companies that I'm not familiar with, okay, or who might have gotten pushed up to the top 10 in this one ETF? This week belongs to Personalis Incorporated. PSNL is the ticker symbol. And it was up. The market price was only $38.31. Again, like I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's going on? Why is this so? How did it end up in the top 10? It wasn't in the top 10 the week beforehand. How is it in the top 10 now? So, and a couple other ones were moved up too, but this one, like, so, and literally just last week, I did the one on Pac B. I've already done CRISPR and several others. So this one, I started looking at, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. They actually have 5.6 million shares of this, of Personalis. 5.6 million shares. So I looked at this, like I looked at Personalis. Okay, and like the last week, again, it seemed like it started out pretty decent already. But like, wait a minute, this is December 7th, right? So I had to go out, and again, it had a pretty good week, even on December 9th, like it was a jump. I really want to figure out, like, December 9th, like what's happened on December 9th. But I really want to figure out what happened again on December 4th to December 7th. That's what I wanted to figure out. And basically, because this past week went from about $29 to where is that? $38.31. So that's basically the stock increased in basically $10 in 1 week. Mind you, again, we go back. She owns 5.6 million shares. So that means she made an extra $56 million in 1 week with just this one stock. Out of 49 different companies, this one company made Kathy and everybody else $56 million in 1 week. So you all already know. We go and look at the website, see what we can find out. They talking about Personalis.com talks about introducing liquid biopsy, enabling precision medicine for immune oncology. A lot of new age, a lot of new therapies for detecting cancer. Absolutely incredible. It still doesn't really tell us what happened this past week. So I even looked, like they had a little conference. They had a conference, an online conference. They're still not telling me what happened last week. So I had to do some more research, and thanks to Google, I was able to find that Bloomberg actually shared that the cancer biopsy market size is worth $32.63 billion by 2027. I'm not sure what the current price is, right? I'm not sure what it is right now. It's probably somewhere in here. But long story short, just like we talk about how companies get higher evaluations, right? We talk about how Tesla, some people say, oh, the company is only worth this many billions. That means the stock should only be worth $50 or $70, or some people say the stock should be worth $700, and some say it should be worth $1,000, right? Because of this grand view research, they're basically saying that this industry, the entire industry, will actually go up to 32.63 billion in the next 7 years. And again, I'm trying to figure out, like, what was it about this article that came out on December 7th? This information, this news. What was it about? Basically saying that if you want to have a great place to put your money in, and you can probably guarantee that it's going to go up for the next 7 years, this is probably the place. This is probably one of the industries, along with the electric vehicle industry, along with the hydrogen fuel cells industry, along with windmill industry. These are some of the industries that will be where the next billions, the next trillions are made. So this is super exciting. But then again, it doesn't say why did Personalis get the jump. It's saying the industry is great, but long story short, when I was able to read a little more, I found that the companies, they actually literally named some of the companies that you should keep an eye out for. So again, it's getting a shout out in a review being done. I'm still need to do some more research on finding out why does this Grandview Research Incorporated, how are they so powerful? I got to do research on that. Somebody please leave it in the comments, right? Leave it in the comments because I want to find out. This is stuff that people can learn about, and it talks a little bit more. So here's my take on it as well. Without sharing my screen for a second. So I actually had to discuss this with a friend too, and I appreciate her allowing me to share this or think about this out loud. Why would this industry just be really start growing even more than normal? Well, I'm willing to bet this is an assumption. This is a huge assumption, but I'm willing to bet that when you have the First Lady of America, as well as the President-elect who actually lost a son, lost a family member to cancer. I'm willing to bet that they will make sure that there's adequate resources going towards cancer research. Okay, it's not a surprise, right? This isn't a surprise. In fact, I actually had it highlighted. It talked about the government being involved, right? Certain resources are being dedicated, not just from FDA approval, but the government is actually involved in making sure that they're doing all that they can to basically not just protect Americans, right? It's not just America first. It's really eliminating the suffering from cancer, or those who experience cancer and those who lost loved ones to cancer. So again, I'll actually include this I'll include this this document in the browser, or not in the browser, in the comments as well. I'll share it on the Facebook page too, because it's basically, again, and mind you, like Bloomberg business, this business section, but there's a lot of health information about it, a lot of information around it. So definitely check it out. I definitely encourage you to check it out. So I just thank everybody. I'm not gonna keep everybody long because it's a lot of things going on this week. I'm encouraging you all to please keep an eye out for what's going on. So look forward, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.
Lewis Lattimore in the darkness to read the recipe. That douchebag Wilson tried to kill our spirits, but we marching on. Iconic giants that run the city. Listen, we King Kong. 'Cause we kings and queens. 'Cause we kings and queens. 'Cause we kings and queens. 'Cause we